CTMasters Open 18.5 is a repeat from 2011. It's an ascending ladder of thrusters and chest-to-bar pull-ups where we'll climb by threes as far as we can in a 7-minute time cap. Now the first piece we want to recognize is the ascending rep scheme. It's very similar to what we saw in 18.2, which was the 1 up to 10 of dumbbell squats and burpees. Thinking back to that workout and how we felt, we can all recall how 18.2 really began in the second half. The first few rounds were purely a buy-in to get there. Ascending rep schemes try to trick us into moving too fast, too early, which in turn slows our efforts in the long run. This same thing holds true for 18.5. Our theme for this workout is to pace the initial rounds, specifically the 3s, 6s, and 9s. For many athletes, this workout doesn't begin until the 12s and beyond. The first opening rounds are purely a test of patience and discipline. Beginning with the end in mind, the 7-minute time cap, we want to exercise our composure on these first few rounds. To put things in perspective, if we finish the round of 15s, that's a score of 90 reps. When we clear rounds 3, 6, 9, we've moved through 36 reps. In other words, a third of the total reps if we finish the 15s. Even though it's a 7-minute time cap, which feels really short, it's actually a pretty long workout. We want to pace our efforts. And we definitely don't want to push in the 3, 6, 9. Let it be in the second half. Now, there are also workouts where we use the mentality, just start. Today, we actually want to take a slightly different approach. If we're holding to aim larger sets, we want to focus on our breathing between the movements. Let's recover on the transitions. If we sprint the change and we end up on our toes and the thrusters or muscling through pull-up repetitions, we're expending energy we need later in the workout. Stay composed and relaxed between sets, and take an extra breath between to ensure we're moving well. Methodical movement and staying composed is crucial, especially early on. Next, let's move in with a game plan in mind. With a larger picture in our thoughts, let's think through where our breakup strategy starts. And when in doubt, start it early. This is a workout where we don't want to have to wait until we have to break. At that point, it's likely too late, and we're going to slow dramatically from there. This is especially the case with chest-to-bar pull-ups. Having a rough game plan to preserve our efforts for the full 7 is crucial. On the thrusters, with that theme in mind, we're looking to bite off good-sized sets here, recognizing that we don't want to hold small sets as there's a decent transition between. Let's aim for medium to larger chunks with controlled breaks in between. Our focus as well is going to be to maximize the use of our hips. Knowing that we need our shoulders for the following pull-ups, let's extend aggressively at the top of each rep to minimize the amount of press out we need. Save the arms. Lastly, on these thrusters, as simple as it may sound, we need to breathe. Commonly, we'll hold our breath, but this can only last so long. Focus on a methodical pace where we can breathe after each rep. Whereas we're aiming for medium to large sets on the thrusters, we almost have the opposite approach on the pull-ups. With a very small transition time between sets, small chunks of pull-ups can work very well for athletes. For most, this will be the limiting factor inside the workout. And breaking up these sets early to maintain our momentum is key. Again, we don't want to wait until we need to break. That's where we slow dramatically. Now, despite these two movements not being a mystery to us, we know this combination. We still want to spend due diligence inside of our warm-up and mobility. Follow along in the primer inside the workout post with a focus on mobilizing for a proper front rack position and a more upright torso through ankle flexibility. As we know, efficiency of movement is incredibly important to finding our best score. And if we want to find our potential inside the 7-minute AMRAP, we need to be moving at our best. Big takeaways for Open 18.5. Number 1, take our time in the warm-up. Although simple movements, dialing in the mechanics to both so we're holding ideal positions is key to our ability to continue to cycle in the second half. Number 2, break before we need to. This workout isn't as short as it looks on paper. To find our best score, we want to think through a strategy where we can move even faster in the second half than the first. And number 3, a simple one, breathe. These two movements are notorious for getting athletes to hold their breath on, and the heart rate spikes. Focus on a methodical pace where we can breathe between each rep. Team, that's the final workout 2018 Open, a classical CrossFit couplet. No better way to go out. Let's go get it.